it's quite shameful, really, it's a pretty old playbook to be blaming immigrants and migrants for our housing crisis when you were in government for almost a decade. It's almost like you're reading One Nation's notes. It's almost like you're reading One Nation's notes. But sure, let's talk about—
Order, Senator Stewart. Senator Colbeck is on his feet.
Acting Deputy President, that is a reflection on me and what I've said. It is a reflection on me and what I've said, and it is against standing orders. To suggest that what I've just said is racist is a reflection on me
Senator Colbeck.
And should be withdrawn.
Order, Senator Colbeck. I don't think that was a reflection on you, and I do recognise that we have quite a wide-ranging debate during Take Note, but I will suggest to Senator Stewart that she be cognisant of the question and the response that we are taking note of and ensure that her comments are relevant to that.
The impact of immigration on housing. I feel like I've been directly relevant. So we have inherited an absolute mess of a situation in our nation. Those opposite had almost a decade to do something about it, and all of a sudden they care about putting roofs over people's heads. Shameful and embarrassing to be over there asking these questions of us. Be asking these questions of us. So not only are we doing things to respond to the housing crisis and the rental crisis that we've got in this country, we're doing things and getting things done. We're making childcare cheaper. We're making medicines cheaper. We're delivering 180,000 fee-free TAFE places. We're funding a pay rise for aged care workers. We're delivering 20,000 new university places. We're providing up to $10,000 for each person who takes up a new energy apprenticeship. We've passed legislation for paid parental leave. We've established 10 days paid family and domestic violence leave, specifically small business workers can access from the 1st of August this year. We're advancing a voice to Parliament. We've got to work to repair our international relations. Foreign Minister Penny Wong has visited 32 countries since her appointment, 5 of them more than once. We are getting on with the job of governing this country, as well as making a real and practical difference to the lives of every Australian. Almost every one of these measures that we've brought to this place has been voted against by those opposite. It's almost like they actually don't want a better future for all Australians. They want to take us back to the time when they were in power and did nothing. Right now, we have a bill before this chamber, the Housing Australia Future Fund bill, which will see a $10 billion investment. The fund will support the government's commitment to deliver 30,000 new social and affordable homes in the next 5 years, going directly to the supply issue in response to the demand. That's what we're doing. You did nothing. You did nothing. Not only shamefully are they going to vote against it, the Greens, who cry about rental affordability and the housing crisis that we've got in this country, they're going to team up with the Libs and vote this down, because the Greens and the opposition think that they know better than housing experts from across academia, industry and community, because they've given their views on this housing package. They've described it as transformative reform that will enable the housing needs of more Australians to be met. When asked if the Senate should move more quickly to support the package, the Community Housing Industry Association declared it was absolutely urgent. They also said we have to put something in place right now. The Urban Development Institute said every day that passes is costing them more and more. The Property Council said the quicker all of these mechanisms are up and running, the better. The National Shelter described it as the most critical housing legislation to be brought forward for the past 10 years. But they're all teaming up to vote it down because they don't think that this is a better future for Australians. An absolute shame and indictment on these. So when, at the end of today or tomorrow, whenever we go to a vote on this bill, I hope those opposite and the Greens can front up to the Australian people and tell them why they don't care about easing the cost of living pressures that are on the Australian people, why they don't care about helping ease the housing and rental crisis that we've got, and why they don't care about the $200 million that is going to go into the repair, maintenance of remote housing for Indigenous Australians. I hope that you front up to the Australian people when you both team up, the Greens and the opposition, to vote this down. Shame on you.
Thank you, Senator Stewart. Senator Antic.